Good afternoon. I'm J. Michael McCoy, and this is the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce Spotlight on Business, powered by webcast1live.com. Remember, it's uniquely Urbandale. Every week we get together and we talk to some of the chamber members, and these people are local businesses. They are out there working hard to meet or exceed your expectations. They are working hard to be part of the community. And today we're going to meet a great guy, Lucus Scott, and you're with Merrill Lynch.
Indeed.
And you're a financial advisor, but you're also the chair of the Generation Y, which you guys call Gen Y. P. What's the P for?
Professional. So Generation Y and Young Professional, you hybrid it together, Gen YP.
Well, that's what you guys do. I still can't get over, what was it, YK2?
Y2K.
Yeah. That was like 15 years ago.
Well, the math works out, yeah, doesn't it?
Had us scared to death.
We all survived, though. We're all still here. Well, most of us are still here.
Didn't matter. They didn't do anything. What a hype. Anyway, let's not talk about that. By the way, Janice Ann Wissenand is here, and she's with the Chamber of Commerce Membership Committee, and we'll talk to her in just a little bit. All right, so tell me about the Gen YP. Tell me what that is.
It is the Young Professionals group within the Urbandale Chamber.
Okay.
But what is unique about it to a degree is you do not have to be a chamber member. Your business doesn't in order to be a member of Gen YP.
All right.
We do have a different price point for that, but it's still, you're able to come in and attend different events that we have throughout the year. We've got some social events, some professional development events. We have a charity every year that we give back to. This year we have a Let's Read program where people volunteer to go in and read to the kids in the elementary schools in the Urbandale School District, and it's some great networking. Both, you build up relationships both professionally and personally. So,
now I'm old. What is Generation Y? What's the year or the age or?
I can't remember the exact age, but I know where we cut off.
Okay, where do you cut off?
We're 21 to 40.
All right. So Generation Y. Okay. All right. Janice, do you know Generation Y? What years would that be? I mean, what are you and I? We're about the same age.
Baby boomers.
We're baby boomers. That's
right.
Right.
The tail end of the boomers. I think I'm actually probably the tail end of Y, being in my mid-30s.
Okay. And before Y, you think was boomers?
Wait, I'm X, and then you've got Y. There you go.
X,
so I'm the end of X, being a late 70s kid. And Gen Y is the younger than me, so I'm about to age out myself with my own group.
Okay, and what are they now? Millennials? Millennials?
That's too young for me.
Yeah. So you said you have a charity that you donate to. What's the charity?
This year we're really focusing on the Let's Read program itself.
Okay.
So funds that are raised during the year, we actually go and buy books for teachers, and they get them at a discount, and then they kind of tell us what they need for those books, and we give those to the kids.
Now, I know we're greatly limited on what we can talk about in the financial world just because of laws and all kinds of stuff.
Lovely compliance.
Yeah. But tell me why let's do this differently. Why does a 21-year-old need a financial advisor?
Do they need a doctor?
Yes, but they don't go very often.
Neither do I still, but every once in a while you need a checkup, right?
Okay.
You use a professional for most things. For a doctor for your health care, why not use a financial professional for your financial health?
And how do you help someone who is your client?
It varies with each individual client, of course, but it's just sitting down and looking at what their goals are. If we can help with those goals, great. If not, you've got somebody you can talk to when the time's right.
All right, now take a guy like me, who I'm supposed to be semi-retired, but Janice keeps dragging me back into work. How can you help me?
We would sit down and see what your concerns are.
Okay.
For the baby boomer generation, a lot of the concern is they're living longer, and that's good and bad news. The good news is you're living longer. The bad news is it takes money to live longer.
Yeah.
So that is a lot of the concern for that generation. For the younger folks, it's let's go ahead and get something started and work on a plan and look at the long-term goals and keep chipping away at it.
Yeah, I think it's probably very, very important for a young person to get hooked up with you as soon as they can.
Yeah.
Because I would imagine it's 7 figures and more difference you can make in their life by the time they retire.
have them Google the beauty of compounding interest, and that's about as easy as you can get at it.
The beauty of compounding interest.
The earlier you start, it's like a snowball. The earlier you start that up on the hill, the longer it has to grow.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And that's how I actually got started was, thank goodness I had parents who taught me, save a little, even your first year out of school when you're not making any, and watch what happens 10, 15 years when it just grows.
All right, let me ask you this, and we didn't talk about any of this before, so this may be a ignorant question, but I have a 14-year-old grandson that I love dearly. I mean, I love all my grandkids dearly, but Lucas is really special to me. What if I gave you an amount of money, let's say $10,000, and I said, here, work that for Lucas so when he's 65, he's got something.
Right.
You would take that money and you would manage it and you would hopefully grow it, and then at some point that would be worth something for my grandson.
That's the idea.
Okay. And do you do that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Do you? Where it's not continually added to?
Correct.
Well, of course, I guess if you're successful and you make money on it, it is continually added to.
Correct.
All right. Thank you. And I do want to also, can I say something about Southside?
Sure.
Okay. One of my favorite couples in the whole world is Lowell and Tamara Scott. And you guys know Tamara because she's on the radio here. Well, your father and Lowell are brothers.
My dad's Lowell's big brother.
All right. And your grandfather started that business, which is the Holiday Inn, Airport Holiday Inn, and they just added a beautiful convention center. And it's probably one of the few places in Des Moines still locally owned.
Yep. Family owned since Grandpa built it when it was the Rambler back in the 50s.
Wow.
So Grandpa lived behind it almost until he passed away. So
Yeah.
it's you can drive a bus, literally drive a bus
Yeah.
into the new
Yeah.
expansion. So
Yeah.
it's only 12,000 square feet to fill.
Well, the thing that I won't mention, and I mention this all the time, I don't do business with places. I do business with people. Maybe that's a little old-fashioned, or maybe I'm ahead of the curve. So if I've got family coming into town, and I want them to stay at a place where I can call the GM, the owner, the partner, and say, hey, congratulations, what a great job housing my mom and dad for a couple of 3 days. They really appreciated the hospitality. Or, hey, you didn't do very good when mom and dad came to town. Corporate-owned, I don't even know what you call them, chains.
Franchises.
They don't care. If they've got a good PR person, she'll sit at the front desk and say, oh, I'm sorry. Let me give you a free room the next time you're in town. When you tell that to the Holiday Inn Airport, you're talking to the owners. You're talking about 3 generations of people running that business. And I thank you for letting me mention that.
Absolutely.
Because it's a great place.
Dad'll appreciate that.
Yeah, well, okay, good. Well, I still remember the Crystal Palace. No.
Crystal Tree.
Man, that Sunday brunch, that was the bomb.
Yeah.
And that's now where the convention center
That and
sits.
Easter, yeah, they knocked that down and have turned that into a 12,000 square foot exhibition hall. So.
That's awesome. All right, Janice Ann Wissenen, she's with the Des Moines or the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. Tuesdays, you make banana bread
And coffee.
and coffee.
Yep.
Tuesday morning is
Yep.
Meet the Chamber.
Yep. And I invite anybody to come in, whether you're a chamber member or you want to learn more about the chamber. So non-members can come in and learn about the chamber and get all their questions answered. We do Meet the Chamber.
Yep. And remember, it's uniquely Urbandale. This is the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce's Spotlight on Business. I'm J. Michael McCoy for WebcastOneLive.com.